Hi everyone. I hope everyone's doing super good. I can't tell exactly how loud this music is. I'm gonna put it down. But thank you all so much for um, tuning in. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, we're gonna get started really soon with designing and creating an accessible mobile app with Figma. So I'm super excited. After our 2 hours together, we are going to be also, Kari's going to be making this into a Swift app as well. So definitely check that out as well. Um, and yeah, we're gonna be making the design and then have that be coming to life. So super excited for today's stream, and I hope everyone's been doing really good today. Um, Super excited. I am going to drop the check-in link so that everyone here can get their points for attending. Um, Very hype. But yeah, let me know what stream has been your favorite so far of Global Hack Week. I know we're only 2 days in, but some of these have been super good. Okay, I'm going to post that in here for all of you all to check in. Yes, get your points. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started really soon. But I am going to go ahead and share my screen. And then give you all a preview on what exactly it is that we're going to be designing today. So, yes, all right, here's my screen. We have Figma loaded, and I'm going to be doing a walkthrough on exactly what it is that I have come up with that I thought that would be really um, cool idea to sort of implement, and not only that, teach you some Figma basics, but also go ahead and teach you maybe some things that you haven't done in Figma before. So that'll be exciting. So even if you do know some Figma or like design work, hopefully this stream is going to be helpful and informative, or it teaches you something new. Um, but yeah, why don't we go ahead? I am going to zoom in and have you all take a look. So yeah, what we're going to be building today is a book application that is going to help you save some of your favorite books and keep track of what you've read so far. Um, and yeah, I am personally super excited about it because was thinking about I was thinking about how we might change the way that we're currently saving books now. So if you think about it, right now we currently have an app like Goodreads, for example, where it's like a social media app in itself. So it's not the purpose of Goodreads isn't primarily to keep track of all the books you're reading. While that is a feature on Goodreads, it is still about like the social connection that you create. So that's that aspect of it. I definitely don't like Goodreads UI. Yeah, that's also a thing. Definitely, their UI could use some improvement, especially on the app as well. I have the app because I use Goodreads, but it isn't something that's like pleasant to be on in terms of like UI design, right? So yeah, there's Goodreads social media aspect, and then you also have, for example, if you have an iPhone device or even like Google Play Books, it sort of holds all of your. You can also keep track of the books you're reading there. You can like import like EPUBs, things like that. So you're able to use it as like a platform to read books on and then save them and then keep a library on there. But at the end of the day, these types of applications are meant to sell you things, right? They have recommendations on audiobooks. They have recommendations on books that you might be interested in. And while that might be really great if you're thinking of exploring new books or exploring books that are similar to the titles you have already read, it's not going to be something that is it's not like personal. the end of the day, you're still getting like these extra recommendations that you might not want. And what we're building today is going to be an application that is going to specifically target your need of just keeping track of all the books that you have read. So yeah, so that's just like an idea that I had, and excuse me, that's what we're going to be building. So yeah, I'll go over through some of the screens that we have. So read at your own pace. Stuff that you're currently reading. This is the home base case. So what happens when a user logs in and we cannot see or they have not read a book yet, or if it's a new account, right? This is the screen that they're going to see. So then the plus button, right, is going to be there to add a book, right? And then stuff, let's say a user starts adding books. This is what they're currently reading. This is like the modal that shows up. All right, and now we're on the reading archive. So it's technically this one right here. So once we start designing, this is just like an overall layout slash design base that I have created. We're throughout the stream going to add a few more things, a few more screens, time permitting, and yeah, just sort of also going on and seeing what we might be able to add as well, based on also suggestions from all of you. But yeah, so the reading archive, and let's say that you have, this is the base case of having not completed any books yet. And then let's say now that a user has put in books. So I have come up with a couple options for the reading archive. So we can say that someone has completed a certain book, or we can say that a user stopped reading a certain book, because at the end of the day, you still want to track what books you have read, or maybe possibly books that you stopped reading, but you still want to keep track that you did try to read it, right? So that could be something too. And yeah, this might even come with its own components of like filters, right? Let's say I only want to see the books that I have only completed. So that could be a filter. Or let's say I want to see the books that I did not finish, that I stopped reading. That could be like, let's just see those books. Once a user has like several books in here. So yeah, so that might be something that we can like add later on. So yeah, I thought this idea would be cool because we can continue adding on things, but our like base of everything that we might do is just going to be like the basic functionality of everything. So yeah, I have come up with, or I have helped you all with providing some resources and assets. So this is my current website with all my Global Hack Week resources. So you'll see here we have now Social Good Week, so designing web and Figma. And this is going to be the one you're going to go to. And for reference, my website is papoka.io/mlh. So I can also go ahead and drop that in the chat as well. Please reference this throughout the stream if you need some help. So let's go ahead on over to the documentation part of everything. All right, so this is a Notion page of sort of what we're going to be referencing throughout today's stream. So we have the on-stream assets that I have used. So if you want to use like the same logo that I have, it's going to be the books.png file. The colors.png is actually just this thing right here. So I have created like a color palette for us. And I'll show you all where I actually generated this color palette. I think it'd be really cool to take a look at. But yeah, and then the colors.png is this little books image right here if you want to follow along with me. But yeah, so we have the color palette here, and then our additional colors that you'll see are going to help with our contrast ratio. which are going to be beneficial for when we're starting to track how our color palette is on a Figma screen. So yeah, we'll take a look at what that means in a bit as well. Yeah, down here are just like links and resources that helped me throughout the making of this app and how it can possibly help you as well. Microsoft Design has a lot of different resources on like why exactly we need accessible design and what does that mean. And I'm sure you've heard from previous streams before on accessible websites and such like that. There's definitely a lot um, that goes into accessibility and why it's important that we put in all this extra effort for it. So a lot of these explained here, and even Figma, right, has like a bunch of different resources and what does it mean exactly to like have like like disabilities, right? So this exactly is sort of a graph that they have created, a little GIF of how if the colors aren't in the right contrast differentiation, then a person with color blindness might not be able to see or experience your design the way you want it to, or the way you intended. Um, yeah, just again, a bunch of amazing resources. So definitely check that out. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Definitely head on over to this documentation page over here. I'm going to have this just on the side whenever we need it. Oh, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. I am going to teach you all how we can start creating this on Figma. Okay, I'm going to just, if you have not already created a Figma page or account, please definitely go ahead and do that. We're just going to start with a blank basic design, and then we're going to start from here. I will just be continuing on with another page on Figma right here. Oh, not Steam, on Stream. Yes, okay. Yes, and then how did you come up with the color palette? Yes, I almost forgot to mention that. So, what I did, I actually just went, I did color palette generator. Yes, so I went to this page right here actually. So this is the accessible color palette generator. It's just like different color combinations that tell you exactly good contrast ratios with black and white text. So yeah, I thought this was really cool. You can put like a specific color and then it'll generate different colors accordingly. So that was something that I really liked from that. And yeah, it just gives you a bunch of different color pairings that you could use. So I found this like really pretty like blue, right? Or this like green, blue, aqua, dark aqua, teal. Those were 5 different colors. And yeah, those are some of the colors that I wanted to do. Oh, hi, if you just joined. Yeah, no, we're actually about to just get started. The resources have been listed in the Discord Global Hack Week announcement. So this is the site right here, fukuoka.io/MLH. And all you have to do is just go there and then look at the Notion documentation like this. And this is where I have like the assets and the color hex codes. Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop the link to the color generator for sure. Yes. Yeah, no, this is my favorite one. It just, the site just looks very cute. And I really liked it. But yeah, just dropped it there. I'll also add it after stream to this page right here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. What you might see is this. Just your plain basic Figma screen, just ready to go. What I like to do beforehand as well. So what you'll notice here is when you're on your blank Figma file, you're going to have a local styles in this corner right here. And this is color, right? So you can create a color palette in Figma that you can just always go back to and reference. That way you don't have to keep typing hex codes every time you want to switch the color. You just select this from your local styles. So yeah, that is what I have done with all our colors here. These go accordingly. So accent 1 right there, accent 2, and like that. So definitely take a second to go ahead and create these as well. So just local styles, you're gonna make sure it's a new color style, and then add like a name if you'd like, and then also just like the color. Yeah, so I have these here already that you can just go ahead and also load from this website here. If not, feel free, no worries on getting this done. It's only like a few, but right now we're just going to be creating like some frames, and the colors can come in a second. Yeah, first thing you want to do is you're going to go to like this grid area. Let's see if I can. I want to be able to maybe make some settings. Okay, all right. Let me know if this is too small or anything, or if this just looks way too small on stream. I can also do this. This is okay. Awesome. This will look a little bigger. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and create a new frame here. So let me do it here. Yep. So this is going to be once you select frame from the dropdown. You're gonna see here that it comes with a lot of different like already pre-made like pixel sizes for depending on what device you want to use. I personally actually just have a 13 Pro Max, so this is the screen that I always use. You don't have to go with that. Feel free to choose anything you'd like. But yeah, you'll see here that this has now appeared on our list of layers. So I'm just calling this landing actually. So our landing page is exactly what a user's going to see when they open the app for the first time. And yeah, we'll have this here. So you'll see here, this is just white background. And now if we go to our local styles, local colors, it's going to be right there. So I'm going to select that. And now we have our screen. Let's go ahead and create all the other pages as well. So what I'm going to do is do a Control C on this frame. So I've selected it in the corner there, or you can select it on the list. So Control C, and I'm going to click Control V. And it's just a copy paste thing that I just did. And it has now created another frame right next to it. So this is going to be called our home base case, because I want to show you all design in as how you would do it when you're handing off to developers. So we can create like a mobile app design, but how is that going to look like when like someone doesn't have an account, or someone isn't logged in, or someone hasn't added these certain things, right? So when you're designing for development, it's going to be different than, let's say, you're designing a website for like a project that you're building, right? You're not going to have like accounts or, you know, like different like sharing settings, things like that, right? So designing for developers is a little different, and this is how I'm approaching this, is by giving you all some background on what exactly it means to do like a developer designer handoff, for example, right? So we'll have a base case, because really, what is our app going to look like when no one is on it, or we haven't started anything? Okay, yeah, so we have our landing, we have our home base case, we have now, I'm going to do another Control V. You can also just click on a frame and click Control V, and that duplicates it too. So Control D or Control C, Control V, however you like. So yes, landing, our home base case. And then now our just home in general. So this is how typical users going to log into the app and see what they're doing. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else we need. Yes, we also need our book modal. So what this means for us is on our book modal, we want it so that if a user, what is going to show up when a user wants to add a new book to their library, right? So that's going to be book modal there. Okay, so yeah, we have these now to work with. I think this is enough so far to sort of get us started, maybe have at least like something in mind. Hello, thanks for joining. Yeah, this is what we have so far. Okay, cool. And then it's our background color that we have selected. Awesome. So yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and drop in our books file. So assuming that you have all downloaded this already, let me go ahead and find it myself. Oh, I don't have it actually. That was on my laptop. Okay. Yes, so this is what that will look like. Books. I'm going to go to it. I'm going to save images. Wonderful. And then Arc is amazing, and I can just drag. Awesome. Oh, you cannot see that. Okay. Yes, so then you'll see here you have now dropped the image. Oh. No, where is she? Okay, yes, all right. We have our books file here, and you'll see now it's way too big. This is a huge 2000 by 2000 pixel file. So what we're going to do is I'm going to press K, or while it's selected, I'm going to press K. And this is now the scale. So let me go back to having it not scale, right? So this, let's say you have just placed it in. So if you start going like down, you'll see that you're able to change, like it does not scale once you make it smaller. So yeah, it'll do that, but you know, you're not able to scale it exactly how you want. So the width and height have not changed. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna click K on your keyboard, and then this, no matter what way you go, is gonna scale it, which is super nice. Yes. So now I'm gonna place it on top there. I have edited this. Let me delete. Okay. Yeah, so I'm also gonna just rename this book because we want to be able to see exactly where that is. So you'll see now that I'm able to lift it off the frame, but also put it back in, and that changes exactly like that. Can you ungroup the books to change aspect ratios? I don't. So the books are like just an image, so I can't ungroup them. But yeah, you are able to change everything over here if that's what you meant. Oh, hello. Thank you for coming. Hi. Yes. Okay. Cool. Yep. So now we're gonna place those right here. And then we're all good there. Okay. Now that we have that, I am going to go ahead and start adding some text. So our first one here is I am going to add in basically like just sort of like a slogan type of thing for the app. What I came up with was just like read at your own pace, because you're not reading for a social media app, and also you're not reading to get recommendations or whatever. Read at your own pace made sense to me. This is what I'm going to go with. So let's go ahead and duplicate that. All right. and then we have that there. So the font that I am using, that I thought matched and went really well was Hiragi no Kaku Gothic SDT. So that's just already imported Google font on Figma. So feel free to also go ahead and do that as well. So I'm going to put here, read at your own pace with the period. Yeah, and you'll see here now, like personally, like this is a little off center. What I am going to do is there's this really handy tool here in Figma that it just center aligns. So align horizontally. So as you can see, I just pressed the align horizontal and it has placed it in the middle for me. And I'll do that for the books as well, but looks like that's all good. Yep, so read at your own pace with the books, and then I want to be able to make it so that users can log in. So let's make a button now. Yeah, let me know if at any point you'd like me to slow it down, or if this is something that was a little confusing, I can go ahead and explain it again. But yeah, okay, read at your own pace. Also, I'm gonna have some music in the background. Let's see. Yeah, or hopefully that isn't too loud. Okay, I like that. That's okay. Yeah, so we have that now. Let's go ahead and make a button. So I'm going to go now to, we have done the frames, so not another frame, but a rectangle. So that's just like the little arrow at the bottom. We're going to click a rectangle, and then with this, we can go ahead and make a button. So I think for me, that looks good there. And then now you can click out. We have made now a button on the screen. Yeah, how did you choose that template? So yeah, I think if you mean like in terms of the structure of everything, this is kind of what I decided that I thought would like be okay, and what other typical apps look like, with just like a login button and stuff like that. The picture I got from my website for this right here, which is on Discord. Okay, cool. Now this button is really ugly. So first let's center align that. And it's ugly because the color is off. So we'll change the color soon. But not only that, you know that in design heuristics, it is so much more, I guess, like well known that the buttons, the corners are rounded, just because it gives it a much like cleaner, nicer looking like look to it, instead of just like rectangle buttons. And especially for an app like ours, we wanted to just we want to go with what is typically used, which is just round buttons. So I usually do, this is going to be, you're going to click on the rectangle, and you'll see here there's like a curve in the design little center here. I am going to click on that, and I'm just going to type in 10. So that's that right there. I think that looks fine personally, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Let's go back to our colors, and we have now our different colors to choose from. I have decided that I want to do that one right there. Okay. And one thing that I wanted to do to kind of sort of help with contrast too is to create like a small border around the button that is just super light, won't be noticeable. And I am going to do just this again, but maybe something, maybe just like a lighter color up here that'll show up better. And yeah, I thought that would have been nice. Okay, so let me give you all a closer look too of what that looks like. So there's our button right there that I thought would be okay. All right, so let's go ahead and add some text on here too, like start here or like continue. What I decided to go on this was just to get started. I thought that, like, you know, it really depends on what you'd like to do there. Can you do a drop shadow to give more dimensionality? Yeah, so feel free to do that as well. The drop shadow is the effects over here, and you'll see that that has now been a drop shadow. So personally, I think I like to add drop shadows when the button is clicked, right? So when you like press on the button, like to let the user know that they have done something on the screen and that the screen has registered that, or the app has processed that, like, okay, you have pressed something. Drop shadows are usually very nice, and that's when I like using them. So yeah, I just thought that, but yeah, that was just a simple drop shadow. Okay, I'm gonna just personally right now just I want it to just be like the base, so I'll get rid of that drop shadow, but we can always come back at that in. Yeah, let's go ahead and add in some more text here. So let's do, like I said, we can do get started. And now this font, I'm going to go, I'm going to select the text, and I'm just going to go one more up, so Pro N. So this is just like this one's a little more bolded than this one. They're the same font, it's just like different weights right here. So feel free to choose accordingly to what you'd like. I'm changing the font size to 17. That way it's a little smaller on the button here. And yeah, I'm also making this right in the middle. You'll see that Figma sort of helps you as well with center aligning and stuff like that. So yeah, we now have our get started button. And now let's go ahead and do something that I like to do. It's called grouping, because let's say I want to use the button again in something else. And while this isn't like an insane, like complicated web app that we're building out, we don't need to necessarily create components. I believe that just for our own sake right now, we can just copy paste to other frames. I'm gonna hold Command or Control, depending if you're on Windows, and I am going to. So you'll see here you can tell when I'm pressing Command or the Control key, but I'm gonna hold down on that, and I'm going to drag my my mouse, and you'll see there that it now has Get Started in Rectangle 1. I'm gonna right-click on it, and I'm going to do group selection. So you could also just do Control G, but here I am just doing that. And you'll see here now, it's called Group 1. So every time you want to move this, you don't have to move everything individually. You just move the entire button. So just something that I like to do with buttons and, rectangles and text. I'm now going to call this just like button right there, just for our own sake, right? It's really great that you can name your own layers and stuff. That way, again, if you're doing like developer handoff, they'll be able to exactly tell what it is. Or if you're working with other designers too, like what exactly is untitled image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Like, it's just not great practice. So, yeah. All right, awesome. We have our landing page. We're going to go ahead now and start creating our screens. Okay. Awesome. All right. So yeah. Wow, this is really long. Okay. We have here our screens. So what I want to do first is create our, I guess our little navigation at the bottom here. So let me show you exactly what I mean. So let's create this. I think it'll be good for us to learn how to get some icons and sort of how Figma helps us design a lot more easier. Okay, so yeah, I have decided previously that I want to do like a library. So like, what have we currently been building? yes, so what we're currently reading, our archive, searching, and then every book, like favorites book or stuff we've saved. I haven't really like figured out the technicalities of that page yet, but sort of that's an idea there. So having something else there too, but definitely a search in the middle and then the library in the middle. But our currently reading, I decided that should be our default because when you log into the app, you want to see exactly what you're reading and what maybe you're here to update something. So yeah. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and start doing that. Here we go. All right. Yes. So start the navigation down here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the rectangle again, and then I'm going to just sort of eyeball making a little thing, a rectangle at the bottom right there. Okay, you'll see this is part of home base case. And now what I like to do is I'm going to now change the color of it. Let me make this a little smaller. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Okay. Now let's change this to a color I previously had chosen, which is just like a lighter version of that. So I think that looks fine. Okay. Now what? Yeah, now's the fun part of getting our icons. So yeah, it's super easy actually. You're gonna go up here to like these little puzzle pieces, sort of sparkles type things. You'll see components, plugins, and widgets. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to plugins, and you'll see you'll have like a bunch there. Really awesome, cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and now do icons. And you'll see here there's a bunch of different plugins for just like open source icons that you all can use. I like using icons 8, so I'm going to click on run for this one. All right, and it'll show up with a little pop-up of icons that you can now search for. So I like the, excuse me, sorry. We're going to do the bookmark. Or let's see also what I did previously. Yeah, oh, I did like this little like reading one. This one's called book reading bookshelf. Okay, cool. So let's do book reading right here. I thought that this might be similar to something that I might think of currently reading. So I'm gonna, oh, so it comes out, it's a PNG and it's black, but I'm going to make this a lighter gray to signify that this is the screen that we're on. And then the rest of them, we're going to change to white. So yeah, I'm just going to load that in there. I'll come back to it. I'm going to get one that looks white. Oh, that replaced it. I'll do that there. Okay. Oh. Let's see, and that one's still there. Okay, awesome. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and do the bookmark one that I said that I wanted to also have. Oh no. Okay, and then let's see, just the search. I just decided I wanted to go with this one right there. And then I know we have one more, which is the library, yes. Okay, wonderful. Cool. Okay, awesome, yeah. So let me go ahead and press X on this now. Now we have our icons all loaded up. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We have the currently reading. We're going to have the library. Again, want to press K down to scale that image. The search. And then the bookmark. Okay, awesome, yeah, and then once again, I'm going to press Command. I'm going to hold Command, and then I'm going to use my pencil right here to sort of move these around. Oh, we can also, what we do is just lock this, and then do that same thing again, and just hold. Yeah, for sure, sorry. Yeah, it's a little bit confusing. The K is to scale, so that way you don't have to go ahead and move that a bunch. And then Command/Control, and then the Command/Control, and then moving your cursor is to sort of group and move layers. So yeah, that's what I have been doing so far. Okay, so yeah, we have these sort of semi-aligned. You'll see that Figma is going to try to help you as well to add that correct spacing. And you also see book reading is not in the home base case sort of frame right here. So I'm going to move this down to that. And you'll see there now that they're separately apart. I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to now unlock this. Right? We have all of this now. And then I am going to press G, Command G, to group it all. We are bottom navigation. Now we have all of that together, and that's how we built it out. I've now selected these four. And okay. All right. Awesome. Yeah. We have these. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control C and Control V to other layers, to our other screens. So book modal is not going to have it, so I'm not going to paste it there. But our home page, once we design that out, is going to have it. Okay. We're all good there. Awesome. Go ahead and now zoom out so we can see what that looks like. Cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move this on the outside. We don't need that yet. Yeah, so far this is what it should look like right now. Let's go ahead and start designing our home base case. So I'm going to zoom in again. Gonna be working with this one. So this page, or this frame, is gonna be called our currently reading. Okay, and I'm gonna select this here, double click on all of them, and then in here I'm gonna just go, I believe it's down. Okay, so the STD version of our font. So it's our, it is the bolded version. I'm also gonna make this a tiny bit bigger, so I'm selecting the text again, maybe moving this to 23. I think that's good. And now instead of white, I want to do some of the other colors that we've chosen for our project. So I'm going to go down here to fill, and I'm going to select our tan color. So you'll see that I changed that there. That looks nice. Pretty good. And you'll see here now our app sort of starts to get a little bit more personality. So I wanted to do is kind of sort of have like the date that lets you know like, oh, like you're at this certain time of the year, or like not only that, but like, oh, like maybe like week 30 out of the 32 of the year, stuff like that, because Goodreads usually does that where it's um, like there's like a book challenge of like reading a certain amount of books in a year, things like that, or 52 weeks. So we can go ahead and also do something like that. I in the example one, I just kind of put like the date. So I just did as of April 30, 2023. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do that too. I'm gonna add another text box. So it's just going up here, the text, and then as of March 7th. And this, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and also changing the font of this to just that regular text. Yep, so it's going to go right in the middle, right there to right under the currently reading. And currently reading, I think, may even can be a little bit bigger. Okay, awesome, yeah. So now we have that text up there as of March 7th, 2023. Again, you know, this can have further evaluations of like, is this the right text to have on top, or what else can we have on top that is going to be more valuable for users? That's a product question. All right. Let's see. Now we can go ahead and add in just like a little bar at the bottom. So I added this just to separate like the title versus like what it is that we're currently reading at the moment. Yeah, I just decided to go with that. We're going to go ahead and copy that. Let's see. So now we're going to use the pencil tool, which is something that I haven't used before, or we haven't used before. Will it change according to the date that the page is accessed? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the total worked when we like code that in, right? So it's going to, like, when you like log in again or refresh and it's the next day, it's going to change. Mm-hmm. Or yeah, that's the plan. So far, this is just like an example of how we want it to look. It as is. It's as if it was March 7th for this user. I'm going to, yeah, now we're going to use the pen tool. So it's going to look like this one up here. Make sure it just says pen. And you'll see here now that the cursor has changed. You want to press once, and then you'll see that a line now extends. You can sort of snap it to keep it in a straight line. And I am going to just do that right there. And I'm going to press escape. So we just have this line here. Oh. Escape, you're going to press done. And we're going to go to our line that we just made right here. All right, so all I did there was just pen tool, press once, press twice, and then escape. All right, so now we have this line, but it doesn't look like the line we want or we have here. So let's go ahead and figure out how we can do that. I'm going to press on here, and you'll see that it has a stroke. So let's go ahead and make this 4 maybe. We'll see that made it thicker. But I'm going to zoom in real close here. You'll see that it like has straight edges. And this is a line, but because we have like our round buttons and our text is also a little bit more on like the bubblier side. Not too bubbly, but I'm saying it's, the font is not very like lined, if that makes sense. There's some more curves to it. I'm thinking that we can also curve the ends of this one too. So that is going to be now going into the stroke settings right here. and I am going to press the round option right there. So it has now turned the size of that round. I'm going to press that, make sure it's center aligned there. And I'm going to change this now to another color. So just that second accent color that we had. Moving that a little bit up just with my arrow keys, just pressing on it and moving up and down. Awesome. Okay, yay, we have that. And we have now our bottom nav. Okay, wonderful. Now we want to, all right. Now what I want to do is create sort of that like gap of a book title that we currently have not done yet. So, something like this. So we have like that, and then you currently do not have any books you're reading, and then that plus icon that we want to add. So, yeah, let's see how we could do that. All right. My favorite way to do it, or just like the way that I have found it to be easy for me, is I'm going to go ahead and just make a little rectangle of how I would want that book title to lay. So I think that looks fine. You'll see here that it has a fill and a stroke. So if you just go ahead and the plus sign there, it'll automatically add that stroke for you. And you can also get rid of that fill. So now we have this like transparent like outline of a rectangle. What I'm going to do now is, this is basically going to be done in our stroke settings. I am going to make this white, but we want it lined, because you'll see here that an outline is just going to be a book title that has no page cover, right? Because what if a book doesn't have a page cover? How's that going to look like, right? So just going to have that there, but this is going to be lined because lined is going to mean that nothing is really there, right? That's something that users are typically used to. So let's go ahead and press that, and then I'm going to go into the stroke settings again, just the dots right there. You'll see here that stroke style can be changed to a dash, and then the steps of everything, right? So I just pressed 5 right there, and thought that was okay. You can also change like the dash gap, so that makes them a little bit more farther apart, things like that. So just according to however you like or what looks good for you. I'm also going to increase the stroke by, let's say, 2. I think that looks fine. That's a little bit more prominent. And also, it's a square again, so let's go ahead and change that border radius. Again, once again, I just like using 10. Yeah, and now she looks like this one right here. All right, and so for this one, I am thinking I'm going to change it back to our tan color that we have here, so it matches the rest of our app. Okay, and yeah, we need to let the user know now that they have no books that they're currently reading. So I'm gonna add some text. Let me make this smaller. Go back to it. It's probably still too big. Alrighty. Let's do 10 is a little too small. 13. 13 looks good. I'm gonna add a period there. You can also change this text box. I like that. Okay. I'm going to also change this. So previously I changed it into like this blue color. So that contrast I know is really bad. You'll see here, you know, when we do our accessibility checker, you'll notice that this is just really bad to read. And it's a little hard sometimes, especially considering if someone might be visually impaired, things like that. We don't want that to be that ratio. The contrast ratio is going to be really bad. So I'm just going to change this to like a lighter blue up here, so that way we still have a pop of color. Okay, awesome, yeah. So that pretty much is all good. I centered that a little bit on there. And then let's go ahead and add that plus icon. So a user will know to press on it, and then they can go ahead and add a book title, which we'll add with our book modal. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back to our icons plugin. So again, just a little square plus diamond little icon plugins, and I'm going to click run. So I believe I just typed in plus, and this is again the PNG in white. Okay, exit that out. So now we have that plus. I'm going to press K, and that is going to change it to scale it. All right, awesome. I'm going to also, you'll see here that the plus is outside of a frame. This is our home base case. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that on to our frame so that we keep everything organized. Awesome, yeah. You'll see here now that although that this is really bright and nice, we can go ahead and change this to being a little bit more lighter. So what I'm going to do is exit out of scale here. I'm going to change its opacity. So in the fill, I'm going to change this image to maybe 50%. And you'll see here now that it matches a little more. It's a little bit more discreet. And I think that this might go a little bit better. Okay, awesome, yeah. So let's go ahead and check and see. Yeah, we're pretty much all good. And you'll see here on my example one, or what we're following here, that there's like a little icon for a profile. So we do have users logging in and being authenticated. We want them to go to their profile settings and know exactly where that is. So thinking of just having that up there. So we can go ahead and add something like that to ours as well. And that's just with adding in an image. So I'm going to add in a random image that I think is going to be fun. Yeah, I'll just add in a picture of me that I have. Once again, I'm going to press K and scale her down really small. I think that's good. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here so you all can see a little bit better. Yes, I believe it's 50. So if you do a 50 border radius, it turns it into a square crop. So I think that's perfect. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Command again, and I'm going to drag currently reading in this bar. I'm going to move it a little bit more into the side here, just so that the profile is still on the right side, but keeping that so that it has enough like padding and it looks okay and not squished together. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, awesome, looks good. We have a little profile there indicating that this is my account. Awesome. Yeah, so let's go ahead and now do the next sequence of things that are going to happen. So let's say now a user is going to press on the plus. So what screen is that going to be like, right? Let's work on that book modal page. I'm going to personally just switch these. I think it's better for the flow of our designs. Go ahead and zoom in on here, and let's create our modal. So you'll notice that on a lot of like apps, or when you're creating, it's just like a little pop-up that scrolls up, and it's a little rounded at the top sometimes. I thought that this might be easier to sort of design, and we have now a different pop-up color that we haven't seen on our app. So been waiting to use these colors. Let's go back here. Yep, so to do this one, you may, once again, it's just like layers on top of layers, right? So we are going to go to the rectangle, once again. And just start at the corner here. Oh, sorry, you're gonna do a little drag right there. And I'm thinking just like right there is good. It doesn't always go all the way sometimes for these modals. And there we go, we have that. We're gonna click on this and you'll see here that if we decide to change that, border radius, the corner, it's going to change all of them. And we only want to change the top two. So there's going to be this little button right here next to that corner radius section. And you'll see exactly which ones you'll change. So once again, I'm doing 10, but I think that's a little bit too small. So I'm going to go ahead and go a little higher. Let's say 20. Let's say 25. Let's say 30. I just wanted to show a little bit more curved. So yeah, I think that looks okay. And now the one right next to that one, the second one right here, is also, it changes in the little image right there. So do another 30. And now we have successfully just changed the top two. Okay. Awesome. Let's go ahead now and change this color. So let's go back to that tan that we want. Okay. And now we're going to do add a book title, because now a user is going to add a book. Let's do that SUD and make the font a little bit bigger. And I think we need to make that just a slightly bit more bigger. That's a little too big. Oh, wrong one. Okay, add a book. Awesome. Let's see. I decided previously that it was going to just match the color of the background. You can choose to go with that as well. There we go. All right, yeah, and then now we need our input fields and sort of describing exactly what it is that someone's going to type in. So I just decided to be just the basic side, book title, author, and then a date that someone has started. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to zoom in for this. Okay. Now I'm just going to make this smaller for sure. Book title, and I want this not to be bolded. And maybe making this that big is good. All right. We have now book title, and then we said we wanted also author. So I just copied and pasted that. Author, I'm going to also, you'll see here that I have the text is aligned to the center. I want to just align that to the left. And same with this one. Oops. All right, awesome. And yeah, let's go ahead and add those input fields. So again, similar to how we built that button, we're just going to add a little section, another rectangle on top for an input field. So these are usually pretty like sort of grayish white. And then add that border radius again, going again with 10. And just to add a little bit more like contrast with like the back, because this back is also pretty tan, right? Or it's a light color and then also white. Just doesn't make too much sense. I'm going to change this to just like a more of a gray, like a just darker gray. And again, just as you see fit. But stroke there, and I'm just keeping it to 1 as well. Just something to know that you're looking at 2 different things. I'm going to align these. You'll see there that the they have appeared right there on Figma. Now put these a little bit more closer to the text. Okay, book title, let's see what I have there. Book title, author, okay, and then date started. So let's go ahead and do that as well, because we want to be able to track that a user has been reading for a certain amount of days, right? You'll see that that is sort of like the purpose. You have had this book in your you've had this book in your library for 67 days or 90 days, right? So the date started is going to be essential. Okay. Start. Oh, I did not spell that right. Started. Okay. All right, now that we have that, I'm going to just copy and paste this one as well and just change the width. So we have month, day, and then the year. It's going to be a little bit more bigger. And then inside here, I'm just going to add like some slashes to indicate that these are going to be different input fields. Move that a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to grab that like text and change it so it's just a slash. Right there looks good. Just copying and pasting there. Okay, awesome, yeah. So one of the things that you'll see on a lot of other sites is that they'll have them pre-populated, like day, year. So I think that that's something really great for accessibility purposes, because we can make sure that everyone knows exactly what it is that they're typing, and user error is less likely to happen. I like to also keep these just gray, but making sure that the contrast is still strong, like that. Okay, and you'll see here that before it was on the bottom or behind everything, I just dragged it in my layers in the frame to bring it back to the top. Okay. All right, looks good. Let me maybe move this a little bit more to the left. Yeah. All right, awesome. Yeah, we have now the date started, and now let's make a button so that it shows that now we can successfully add in our book to our library. So this is just going to be another button, but I actually can go ahead and copy our other button. So Control C that, Control V. Oh. Okay, and then now I'm going to go ahead and do add book. And then we can even have some text at the bottom that'll be like, this means that you will be adding the book to your library or something. Oh. Yes. Okay, and then this keeps moving around and shifting as I keep designing. So I'm just going to go ahead and sort of lock the let's see what happened here. Okay. All right, awesome. We locked that. Okay, looks good. Now that we have created our book model, we're all good to go. Let me move this up a little bit as well. Right there. Okay, cool. Yeah. So let's check our progress so far. We have created a landing page, our home base case, and a book modal for that, so that when a user goes and adds in a book that they want to save, they can do so pretty easily when this just pops up. I am going to be taking a little break super duper quickly. Please, 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 like, no worries. I'm going to be right back and we'll go ahead and get started and finish off our other layers here. But yes, we'll be right back. Let me go ahead and add in just a little ticket here. But yes, we'll be right back and we'll finish off a little bit more of our design. All right, hi everyone, we're back. Hopefully my camera doesn't die in the time that we have left, but that is okay. Can you share what is the color coding of your background? Yeah, if you are referencing, if you're thinking of this one right here, um, is actually on my designing an accessible mobile application. It's gonna be this one right here. So all the color codes are right here. So I can go ahead and share this with you too. Let me go ahead and paste it in chat as well, so you can access this. Oh no, you're all good. Yeah, no, this is just the resources I have that I have shared. And this site as well is gonna have other resources too. Okay, all right, let's get back to it. Oh, I'm gonna also turn on my little lamp so that you all can see me a little bit better. I know, whoa, it just got darker for me. The sun has now set. Um, so, okay, let's continue. Sorry. All right. Now, let's say a user has added a book now. How is that screen going to look like? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the top part just because this is going to be similar to our homepage like we have been doing. So just the currently reading top part is going to stay the same. So copy pasted that. We're all good. Oh, did not. Let me go ahead and do it again with the bar at the bottom right there. Perfect. So it has like this bar that I forgot to add. Okay, cool. All right, let's go ahead and now add our book cover. So for our purposes' sake today, all I'm gonna do is also this music is not a vibe right now. Okay. Oh yes. All right. So I'm gonna do new tab and let's look for a book that I want to add. Let's see. We can do a Percy Jackson. Oh, Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Me personally, no, but I know everyone loves Harry Potter or has an association with Harry Potter in some way. So, Harry Potter book cover. Um, this is fine. Yeah. So I'm just gonna copy the image, and you're gonna paste right in Figma as well. Just Control V, and wow, that's huge. But that's okay because we learned our shortcut of K, pressing K, and we can now move this down. Let's do that again right there. And yeah, I think that's reasonable padding on the left and the right. We have Harry Potter now. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and add a border or a corner radius. So I added 10. Now that looks a little bit more clean. Okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm also going to add in a stroke. Just click that, and it's gonna. I just want it to be just a black stroke right here. And my thought process behind this is that what if we get a book cover that has the same color as our background, or very similar? A user won't be able to tell the difference between the cover and the background. It'll look really messy, and the Percy Jackson book is like a good example of this. So you'll see here, or the Great Gatsby too. Like, it's like the blue is a little bit like just blends in slightly, maybe. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't look as nice if you were not to have that stroke. So with the stroke, you're able to perfectly like determine exactly that this is like a book, right? And again, even as we talked about before, even adding like a drop shadow or something could be a thing that you add to. But yeah, you'll see here, you can't really, it doesn't really make sense with like these like bright red book covers, but it'll be important when we do that. And then also that reminds me, we can add that to our profile picture as well, because that'll be nice to also have a distinguishing thing. And black is going to be a nice color that blends in slightly with our dark background. Okay, yes, we have now Harry Potter. Let's go ahead and think about what we might want to add in terms of, okay, so a user wants to keep track of what they're currently reading. So we have indicators here like, all right, a user can probably see when the date that they started a book. So started January 15th, and also how many days it's been in the library. So let's say you had a goal to finish your book in 10 days. That is going to be easily trackable on the app. So you'll see here I have like these like neutral blue indicators, but in our reading archive, they change colors to showcase exactly if you've stopped reading a book or if you completed a book. So I think it's a nice like matching sort of shapes, matching of shapes with everything. And I would like this to be consistent throughout the entire app. Excuse me. And it's not even that late for me. I don't know why I'm just so tired. Okay. Yeah, so we have now something we want to go like this. So let's go back to our page here. So this is what you should have now. I am going to go and our line tool again, and going to almost the edge right there, and just making a line down there. Pressing escape again. Oh, click done. And the settings have carried over from when we made this line right here. And I'm going to go ahead and keep that because I think that thickness is going to be enough. But let's change that color to, let's see, we can go with our pink. I think our red is going to indicate maybe an error or something. So we don't want to use that red right now. But this blue we've been using pretty consistently overall, and it matches this one. So I want to have a little bit change of color, maybe a brighter blue. This isn't part of our color palette that we have set, but these are just some other colors that we can also have. So I thought that would be also cool. And yeah, this looks bright enough. Wow, all my favorite books and audiobooks. Yeah? Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's now add in our text. So I'm going to reference back to right there. So going back to the left align right there, making the text smaller for sure. So started Feb 14, 2023, Valentine's Day. Oh, my bad. Okay. And I'm gonna make this 12, possibly. Okay. So I also want to change like the date, just so this is a little bit more also. You can sort of feel the difference between those. So yep, we have that. And then let's go ahead and check what that looks like. So yeah, this is still a little too big because I do want to fit some more text at the bottom. And then now down here we can do this book has been in your library for 35 days. That is so not true, but we're keeping that. You can also go ahead and change that line spacing too, if that's something you're interested in. I'm gonna go ahead and make this line a little bit bigger, just so that can fit everything. And making this slightly bit smaller. I just did that 9.5. I'm bringing this text back to just being white. Okay, awesome. And then we can keep this here, and maybe even if we want to change our book model to like how many days you want to finish this book in, or something like that, like set like a goal, then it can show here like, oh, we have a red indicator that, you know, this is not good, or a green indicator that's like you're on track, or something like that. So yeah, this app relies a lot on dates. Okay. Now that we have that there, let's go ahead and add another book just to see what that would look like too, right? How would it look like if we have 3 books or 4 books, for example? Okay. I'm gonna go back and add in another title. If anyone has any idea of what book I should add, let me know. I have done, what have I? Maybe a manga. Let's do like the Spy Family manga. Silence of the Lamb. Ooh, okay. Yeah, looks good. Hopefully, wait, let's see if I can just copy this page. What? Okay. All right, we'll use this cover right here. Okay. All right, I just copied it and pasted it, so no need to like save it to your save it on your computer or anything. But yep, I'm just aligning these now side by side and adding that border, the corner radius. Sorry, in if there's like the CSS, that's border radius, so I call it border radius, but Figma calls it corner radius, which makes sense too. Clicking that there, adding a stroke again of just 1. Sweet. I'm gonna copy this. I'm also gonna group this together. So all I did was just select everything, and I'm gonna put group selection. So that way I copy everything together. All right. So let's say we started this book January 1st. We started a new book in the new year. Jan 1st, 2023, and change the colors a little bit. Okay. This book has been a lot more than 67 maybe. Cool. All right, yeah, we have this one now, and you'll see here on this one, this is what a book will look like if it doesn't have a cover, right? Let's say that it's not found in the database, but it's not found in like the book API or whatever that, you know, we're gonna code this in, but it still has like, we still want to save it. It doesn't matter if the user can't find, or if the program can't find the cover for it. We still want to show. So I was thinking maybe just having the title and the author. So this is a conceptual framework. Yeah, this is Conceptual in the sense that this is kind of an example of how we would have the app laid out. But we are gonna end up coding this later today with Kari. Alrighty. I'm going to do. Oh no. I'm going to do what we did previously over here. So we added like that rectangle, right, of a book that the currently reading right there. So let's go ahead and add in another rectangle. So I want it somewhere in size to that other book cover. And once again, I just want the stroke. So just adding that stroke line and then getting rid of the fill. So it's just empty. Changing this to our tan color and selecting this again. Oopsie. Making this 10 corner radius, just like all of our other covers have been. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and copy this text right here. Let's see if we can align that with everything else. Okay. It's a little bit thicker. All right. I'm gonna make this just changing that the stroke a little bit. There we go. And then maybe making this now adding some text. Percy Jackson. The light. That is spelled so wrong. I'm gonna make this center. Wow. By the way, there was a day when Figma did not have what's it called? Word. Wow, I'm blanking. They did not have spell check. Okay, I was like, what is this called? They did not have spell check, unfortunately, but we do now. So, thank you, Figma. Spell check is literally everyone was shaking and quaking when spell check came out on Figma, or me personally, shaking and quaking. Okay, I have added now. I've changed it to the color of just, I guess, the background or the tan color that we have. So it's still like a part of the app color for this. Okay. Let's now go ahead and add the author. The bottom here. And changing this font to that one. Whoa, what was that? Just got an email. Okay. And making this a tad bit smaller. Okay, here we go. Yeah, adding ChatGPT for recommendations. Yeah, that could be an awesome, cool idea. We're definitely not gonna have enough time to finish everything today, unfortunately. But please continue on with this design if you're interested, or you have some ideas on what other features to implement. Like, you already have like the basis of, you know, look and like UI design that we're going for. Like this is something that you can continue practicing. But yes, that would be super cool. Okay. Yes, and now, all right, let's say, how do it, now the user, sorry, I'll stop shaking. How is the user now going to add more books, right? So right here, the user adds books through just the plus, but there is no plus here, right? So we should add that. That would be a good idea. All right, I just copied that, pasting that here. Maybe if Figma wants to paste. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just thought that maybe adding that plus is going to be, that's pretty intuitive. Like add plus, let's add a new book. And the app still looks good, in my opinion. Doesn't interfere with anything else. What is another app that has, I know that there's a floating plus sign on another app that I've seen. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, like Twitter, right? Like you're able to add a tweet at the bottom. It's just like that plus, or like that, the little feather pen maybe. But anyways, yeah, that's another approach that you could go for. I think adding the plus there is going to make this like look less empty, because you don't want this to look empty. That'll just like look off-sided, or yeah. Personally thinking that this would go there. Okay. Sweet, we have now the currently reading page all done. Very cool. Looks sick. Yeah. All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We want to now make, let's take a look. We want to now make our reading archive, the second one. So the second thing that it might be even a priority on the app, right? It's like, let's, this app is so that I can see the books that I have saved or I've read. Now, what is that going to look like, right? So once again, we want to have our base case for that. I'm going to simply copy this, Control V that, and it's going to go off to the side, but for flow purposes, I'm going to put this down here. Let's do archive base case. Sweet. So once again, I think I'm going to keep like those top settings at the top pretty much very similar. And at first I was a little bit not convinced. I was like, I think everything should be slightly different. But the Books app on iPhone keeps the headers of everything consistent. So I didn't see a problem with keeping that for our app. So let's do reading archive. And then I changed it so that it doesn't have the date anymore, but it has the completed books. But we also are showing uncompleted books. So maybe changing this to like books progress and status or something like that. Definitely, this is just super random. I just came up with. If you have something better that you'd like to add or change that to, go for it. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of that text here because we are gonna just change that. Let's see. You have not yet saved any books to your archive. One of the things that other applications will do will be like start at this page to save a book or something, right? So I personally think that because making our first screen our default, it'll be intuitive to know that we can go ahead on after. Like this setting here is going to make sense to a user that has not added anything yet, and they'll know why. So changing that to black there, or white, sorry. opposite color. And you'll see here now that I've like changed it to this gray, but now we're not on that gray anymore. We're on the different one. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. And if you remember, we have left this one off from last time. I'm going to just make that a little smaller and add it into our app. Okay, and now we gotta change the library one to be a little bit more grayed out so that the user knows that they're on that tab specifically. So once again, I'm gonna go to those plugins, run icons 8 again, library, bookshelf, and then changing this to the gray. Sweet. Gonna exit that out, zoom in to the bottom here, and then just replace this white one with this grayed out one. All right, there we go. Super simple. We have that there now. Okay, and then this looks similar to what we have decided beforehand, right? There are currently no completed books yet. We have not saved any books. And maybe this even a little smaller because we want the reading archive title to be a little bit more accentuated. Okay, great. We have that there. And now this is our base case for that. So what happens now when a user does have books that they have finished? What is that going to look like? So let's go ahead and add that. Again, Control-C, Control-V type situation. And now we are going to add in some different books that we have all read. So our latest book recommendation was The Water Knife. Let's go ahead and add that. Wow. Okay. Right. Oh. Oh, this looks sick. Okay. Control-V that. Gonna zoom in. Pressing K again. And just zooming that out. We'll make it consistent with other sizes. I guess I haven't been super consistent with that, but there we go. Gonna make this 10 again. Let's see. So you'll see here, this is a really good example of like, our stroke really doesn't do much, but you'll see it's the slightest difference that differentiates that dark background. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this again. Control-C, Control-V here. And now these are going to change into our status bars that we talked about previously. So I want this to show up green, as in like, green, yay, you completed this book. Right? So I'm going to just go to the line right here, double click on that. We've selected like this vector. I'm going to change this, and we're just going to go to the green, choosing a bright green for that. Okay, looks good. And then I'm gonna just put here completed on that specific day, right? And also, yes, so I implemented like a rating system of like how you can keep track of how much did you actually like this book in like a super simple way, nothing crazy like, you know, sharing with your friends or anything. Like this is strictly just you have it saved and you can, excuse me, you can go back and then see exactly like, oh, I like this book, I'm going to read the sequel, or I like this book and or I hated this book, never reading this again from this author, or something like that, right? So, okay. Let's do, you rated this book 5 stars. Awesome. Let me go ahead and move the progress bar a little bit, make that a little bit smaller. And then the 5 stars, I'm gonna, I guess you're also able to like come up with a color scheme for this. So maybe 5 stars is gonna be a really nice green as well. 5 stars is amazing, wonderful, good. Or even, maybe even doing like stars at the bottom here, indicating that you gave it 5 stars instead of the text. Also something, another design choice that we can possibly consider. Okay, cool. All right, now we have that book there. So I'm not sure if anyone catched this or if this is something that perhaps we didn't think about this particular case, but what happens when you click on a book? Like, are we gonna have that just be nothing? Are we gonna have that, you know what I mean? So clicking on a book is gonna mean what, right? We want it so that possibly if we click on a book, we can edit that we have completed the book, because how are we gonna go from currently reading to adding to our library or to our reading archive, right? So that's something else we have to think about. But I don't have a screen for that. So this is actually something we're going to build out together in the next 10 minutes. So let's see if we can pull this out before end of stream, and you can sort of go through my thought process of making something like this. So I want it to be that it's also similar to the book modal, like adding a title, but now you're looking at the book and you want to transfer this. So what I'm going to do is copy the book modal, and okay, I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add another rectangle. Make this tan. And I think we did the corners 30. Let me double check that. Oh. Okay. So 30 and 30. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. So I want the title. Let's say we're going with this Harry Potter book again. I want the title to appear, or let's say I want, so you'll notice here that in our currently reading, the title and author don't show up, like it's just the cover. So let's say we're like, I definitely want like the cover, the author and the book title to be something that a user knows for sure, because what if you're not able, what if the cover is like super ambiguous or it doesn't even have like text, right? So I think I want to add that for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and maybe copy this and make this black. I'm thinking black because this is just generic and this isn't an asset, a part of the app. It's just like a book cover, and also we have already a modal with the blue. We don't want maybe a user to get confused or something of what they're looking at. So Harry, not Pooter, Harry Potter and the yes, wait hollows. Okay. Right. Oh. Let's see. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, that is spacing. We don't want to change that. Okay. All right, that looks good. Let me try to experiment with the thinner one. No. I don't believe that our line spacing is in effect here. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll keep it like this. I'm gonna definitely want to add in our author. She's not very nice, but we're gonna add her anyway. What's this? Okay, I was like, wow. I blanked for a second. I was like, who made this? What? Okay. All right. This is gonna be definitely the thinner one, and making this smaller. Okay, we have that, and then now we have like the book there. Down here now we want to do, so our options are we're gonna save it. So we want to, let's think about also maybe button size, right? So, let's do a green, perhaps. Okay. Again, making that 10. So, all right, let's think about this, how we want to do it. So maybe let's do completed. White, perhaps? And then we can even, let's add a little icon that showcases like a check mark maybe. So once again, icons. There's that check right there, but I want maybe something with like a circle. That way it doesn't just look empty, but let's see the options they have. Yeah, something like that. Ooh, the checkbox. Oh wait, I want this white. Oops. Okay. All right, awesome. Press K. You already know. Okay, maybe even making this. Oh, let's not scale that. I just want. All right, so that shows the completed status that we wanna check that. We want to have. I guess I'm debating like. Oh, all right. We end in 2 minutes. Let me go ahead and make a quick decision. Oh, that wasn't added there. Okay, yes. So I'm gonna make a couple more buttons real quick, just because we are almost out of time. But let's do another 10 right there. And then this one can be that's going to say finished reading. Before the stream does end, I did want to tell you guys about the accessibility part of everything, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do over here, and this is going to be, I think it's A11Y. Yeah, so you're going to do A11Y color contrast checker plugin. Going to run that, and then all you have to do is select a frame and then check that. So you'll see that we want the 3 A's because that's the contrast, a good contrast ratio. So you'll see here that depending on how you want to change everything, it'll change that. But let's say we can even make that button a little bit darker, and then it'll still be okay and compliant like that. So you're all good. Let's go to home base case and check that there. And we're all good in home base case. Awesome. Let's go book modal. Check that. Okay. Oh, all right. We have a bunch. So I think, all right, that's referencing that. Okay. So we want it a little bit more darker than how we had it before. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. And then I think that changes that. Okay. Let's change that here, making this a little bit darker. And then with this, let's try to do it as much as possible. There we go. Yep, so just choosing darker colors. This really helps with like checking color contrasts and stuff like that. So once again, checking there, we're all good. This is all good. Oh, yes, so the green is a little bit too light, yeah. All right, we'll change that a little bit there. All good. And then archive. Base case is all good. So yeah. So now we have checked that our color contrast is pretty good and our icons are big. We have an app that is as accessible as it can be according to my eyes. The app itself has some improvements to work on and stuff like that, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching and joining my stream. We are a little bit over time, but I really hope you all enjoyed the design portion of everything and learning how to use Figma with me. So yeah, I'll hand it off to our next stream going on, but thank you all so much, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Have a good rest of your day or night. Bye.